everyone, my name is Elspy. Today I'm going to show you how to make Halo letters that can look like this. It's not going to be a recreation one-to-one, but as you can see it's kind of close. So let's get into it. First off, the app that I'm using is called Pixrl. You can use this one in their online webpage, which is practically free. Today I'm using the one that's kind of like subscription, but for the sake of this video, it doesn't really matter which one you're using. Well, we're gonna go into text. We're gonna put a text over here into one of our layers. But let me move this stuff around so it's a little bit more closer. So first off, one of the first things that you wanna do is install a font, a Halo font. You can find one of those in any online page. Like you can just type Halo font on Google and you'll find a bunch of different links that can let you install one. If you want me to make a video about it, I can do it, but let me know in the comments. Once I got this video, and you're gonna keep it simple, and you're gonna get that you somehow figure out how to do it, and just keep going with it. First off, let me make this bigger, just so it's a little bit more easier for all of you to see. Okay. First off, when you put your Halo font, let me change this so it's a little bit more notable. Let's make it red just so it stands out more. First off, you're probably asking, why this doesn't look nothing like the ones below. And I assure you, give me a few minutes, I'll show you how to make it. So first off, the first thing that you wanna do is, there's a lot of ways you can do this. This is one that I personally recommend, that when I add an outline, when I add, you can pretty much add any type of outline you want. Let me see. I'm gonna add a white one just for the sake of this video, and you're trying to make, because again, the goal is trying to recreate this one. So when I go into fill, this is like the color of our letter, and we're gonna go to gradient. We're gonna tend to make it look like a little bit more like the original logo. I'm gonna use this, which is not exactly, it's very close, but it's nowhere near this one. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna adjust the colors into the letters so it kind of looks a little bit more closer. And we're gonna, not gonna be perfect. My goal is trying to make it a little bit more closer to the original. In fact, I'm gonna make another one like this. And I feel like I wanna use a little bit more like teal, closer one. Yeah, that looks way better. In fact, I'm gonna erase this one. I'm gonna put another one, similar like the blue one, and I'm gonna make it a little bit more darker. Doesn't show so much, but let me adjust this just so it's, there we go. You can kind of see a little bit of like the darker tone on it. In fact, I think I might want to do a little bit, there we go. Let me readjust this again. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna hit OK. And now we are, it's still far from the one on the bottom. So what we're gonna do next is simple. So now that we have our letters set up, because again, this is first a setup. So what we're gonna do next, we want this text into an image type of layer. How are you gonna do that? Well, there is like a lot of ways you can do it. You can set up the letters and load it up as an image, or you can do this, which is faster and less time consuming. We're gonna copy our text layer and we're gonna paste it. And we're gonna do that again. We're gonna do this 2 times. Now that we have 3 layers text, we're gonna grab the first one and we're gonna merge it with the one below. Merge down. That way we have just 2 layers, one of text and one of image. And what we're gonna do with the image one, we are gonna make sure we have our layer selected, which is the image one. We're gonna go to filters, and this is where the fun begins. We're gonna go to this option that says bevel, I believe. Gonna hit it, and now you're noticing that it's starting to look a little bit more Halo-like. So what it does, it gives it more like a metallic look to the letters. Now you can do a lot of things. You can change the angle of the lighting. This is cool if you are doing custom thumbnail for specific type of scenarios. We're gonna highlight the opacity for the white colors. Gonna make it a little bit more stand out. This is also the reason why I made this white layer near the bottom, so it looks a little bit more like those kind of outlines on those closer parts. And we're gonna play a little bit with the highlight, with the shadow opacity. As you can see, there's a lot of things that you can do with it. For the sake of this video, we're gonna make it a little bit more darker because again, our goal is to get closer to this. So we wanna make it a little bit more, maybe not as, before I go into that, I'm gonna go to size, I'm gonna say on 5. This is a lot more, I feel like it's a lot better and it's a lot closer to what the original logo looks like. Again, this is not a 100% one-to-one replication, but it's pretty close for any of your mod thumbnails or just your mod video showcase or whatever you want to do. It's up to you what you want to do with those type of things. Now, we hit it on 100, although usually I recommend it somewhere around 80, 50, or 70, or even 40 depending on your settings. Again, go crazy. There's a lot of things you can do. This is so fun to do. I just recommend people just giving it a try. Generally, it's so much fun to make. And then to figure out what's the right balance between all of this. Of course, probably some of you might find a better way to do this than me, and just playing with the shadows. But if you have a better way to do it, I recommend sharing it with people in the comments. Again, if you know how to do better than how I do it, I think a lot of people will appreciate knowing, because I think we all love Halo and we want to make things as faithful as possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead with this one. Again, it doesn't look as much as this one, and I know that it looks a little bit different, but I choose a little bit of a different process. But then again, you can do a lot of things to get into the same conclusion. Now, we're gonna start doing a few things just so it looks a little bit better. I'll go into filters and I'm gonna make sure I have my image layer selected. And I go to filters, and one thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna add an inner glow. If I can select it to begin with. Okay, on this one, what I'm gonna do is, you can do a lot of things. First off, let's try to add a darker one, and let's change the size of this inner glow just to make it a little bit more stand up. There is definitely a bunch of little things that you can do. I feel like this looks maybe not as close, but it definitely looks a lot more readable for people around. As you can see, I can add like another layer of like outlines. I like using this option as a, like an extra outline that you can use for making your letter a lot more readable. Because I would say like that's the key on this. It's just make things a little bit more readable. And sometimes you have to make things a little bit different because you want that make them look better for your particular case. But then again, if you have a better way to do this, I highly recommend it sharing it in the comments. Just for a second of this video, and you're gonna go with that outer outline, which I think it looks better for this particular case. It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot more difficult to replicate like this particular part unless you are like an artist that you can like paint a little bit over like some of the edges, so it looks a lot more closer to this. Because you can tell that some of those things are more like custom made. I know like made with a tool like this. They're definitely a little more professionally made. What I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna do like a small layer, like a shadow between the image. As you can see, this one has like some type of shadow. I wanna try to copy that. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can go into filter, top shadow, and here we go. You can play around with the options. The way that I personally do this, just because I feel like it fits more with what I generally do, is I go into text, go into styles, and then I go into shadows. And over here, I put the blur all the way up. I close the distance as much as possible, and then I change the opacity. And here we go. We have like a shadow that's around all the letters. You can customize it your way. Again, it's not as close as this one, but I want to say it's pretty good. Again, there's like a bunch of different options. Like you can do it without the outline. I decided to do that white outline just because I feel like it will look better than this one. And to be honest, I feel like this. Well, I guess it's up to you. I probably think that this looks better. Oh, and before, let's do a few more things. There are also like a few more things that you can do. You can add clarity just to make it more readable. This is not gonna make a big difference right now, just because again, it also helps making like this little part right here, like the reflect part. I remember what step I missed. So yeah, this definitely is something that you wanna look for if you want to make your letter a little bit closer to the original logo. Usually recommend do it a little bit lower, but just for the sake of this video, we're gonna go all the way. And just to make it a little bit even more readable, because again, we're gonna sharpen it. This helps a lot with readability when it comes to thumbnails. Since the letters are pretty big, you can pretty much see them without any issues. This is more for like when you are trying to upscale like a very small image or a very small letter image. In the case, not gonna make a big difference, which helps out a little bit, especially when you're working with like more smaller versions of the letter. It kind of looks bad on those, so I'm not gonna do it too high. In fact, I recommend it just go ahead like 10, 20, use something so it doesn't look like out of place. Yeah, I think it's good. And here we go. We have like pretty much a halo looking type of letter, which is definitely something you want for like maybe like a title if you want to do that. Something that you can do that I personally like doing this for the shadows if you want to do a little bit different. since I finished recreating this, again, it's not a one-to-one, pretty close, but it's not a one-to-one. I'm sure that there's another way to make this even better than I did. And just one thing that I want to show you all, just to have some fun, it's the shadows. You can use you can change the color. Another way that you can do it is like the filters and auto glow. I don't recommend this one. I don't like it. I don't recommend using it. You can use it if you want to. I highly recommend not using it. I prefer using the shadow portion from the text type. And let's say that you want to make it a little more brighter. But can you do that? Just to make it a little bit more flashy. You can just copy, paste, and here we go. It looks a lot more shinier. Another thing that you can do, which is you can experiment, and this is what I love from using this like option over here. You can, since you have like a lot of different layers, you can use one layer, and let's say, oh, maybe instead of white, I want to make it black. So you can get like a grayish type of outglow, or you can, let's say, get a blue one, like this, a very bright blue. That looks good, honestly. Or you can even mix and match with different colors. We're gonna use the other one, the other blue and glow. And on this one, we're gonna put a red one because I want to show you. I was saying this and it looks so cool. It looks like more like a covenant like type of illumination, which I don't know, it's really great. You can do a bunch of different stuff and it's just amazing. The imagination is the limit, pretty much. I can even, let me see. I think I can, like, I can just blur so it looks, oof. See? It looks amazing. Can do so like a combination with like a very like bright blue on the back and like a little bit of red. Yeah, that looks sick. But that's gonna be all. Just go crazy, man. There are like a bunch of little things that you can do, and I know this is so fun to make. I hope you all enjoy it. Hope you like the video, and that's all for today. This is Endless Pie signing out. Bye bye.